Hey guys, Ed here with Tier 3. Did you know that stranger danger with online predators is actually a small amount? Before we get into all of that though, I want to kind of touch base on why I'm doing these videos real quick. I am not an expert. I am not attempting to be one. What I am doing is hopefully being a first step to get your eyes open. I want to get your eyes open so that I can get you out there to people who are more well briefed and can put on a good presentation better than I ever could, because they do this and they live this. I'm fortunate enough to volunteer with a group, and that's what got me started. Right now, with seeing it out there, I'm working to do my little part. You know, if we all do our part, we can knock a lot of this shit out and hopefully keep a few more families safe out there. So I volunteer with a group, the Acervo Project. They're an awesome group. I've been reading with information off of the Polaris Project, another group that seems really well informed. Guys, the internet, look them up, do your due diligence. Let's jump into this right now. And really, before we get in, I'm gonna read off a couple of the hunting grounds for the online predators. Obviously, social media, dating apps, online games, Omegle, Discord, Snapchat, TikTok, Tinder, regular Messenger, Fortnite, your cell phone, Minecraft, Roblox. The list is going on. Definitely the kid's cell phone. Okay, we got the what? So, why are we talking about this? Because, this is a new age, guys, as you all know, and I'm not telling you something you don't know. But one of the reasons I'm telling you this is you hear a lot of people that they close down, or they'll mutter the reason that they don't have time to do all to monitor, and I get it. So educate. Your kids are your best investment, obviously. I'm not telling you something y'all don't know. One of the biggest ways you can bring the fight to these guys and women is education. And the big one, on top of education, is understanding. Guys, gals, that's where you got it. You just got to open your mind. You can't always think linear. You can't think traditional. You got to be a little bit more asymmetric in your thought process and understanding, because this is an enemy, and they're fighting on a different level than we are. So if we don't raise our game and bring our A game to the table, they are. So don't talk at your kids. Talk to your kids. Listen to your kids. Those are two big things. Now let's get into some ways of how these predators operate. They're going to work with leverage and trust and familiarity. We're not going to go into they could be family members, which they could, friends, kind of like how we touch base on our sextortion video, educational sextortion video. That awareness there can help. The awareness here can help. Yes, it could be family members and friends, but we also have to think differently too with the term stranger. What we may consider stranger isn't what your kid is going to consider stranger, because they may have built a relationship with them on whatever the app or game that we just discussed. So we went over some leverage. They do the trust and the familiarity. We've done the social media and the games. Why they use these is, you're familiar with the term grooming. They're going to groom over time. And guys, gals, it may not just be one person on this site. It may be a game, and it may be like 5 or 6 that are a team, and they may just pick out little things, so it's not going to hit your kids' bump of trouble to make them suspect already. Go, oh my gosh, man, that gal, they're asking me a ton of stuff, and it's kind of personal. So they hit from different places. I'm not saying this all the time. I'm not saying it to make you paranoid. I'm saying it to make you aware. So that's what they're going to do. It's going to be harmless conversations. They're going to slightly steer towards, maybe not always slightly, towards sexual topics. They may request explicit image. Back to the talking and understanding. You want your son or daughter to be able to come to you and say, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, they just kind of asked me, to show insert body part. And I don't feel right about it. And obviously they're not going to feel right talking to you, especially if they know you're going to come down like a 10-pound hammer. Again, not saying to be soft on parenting, but we need to develop a new style of parenting. Soft when it needs to be. Let them know that they can come to you. Let them know that you're not going to talk at them, but you're going to talk to them. That means you're going to listen to them as well. So another way is, of course, they're going to exploit vulnerabilities. They're teenagers. They're going to have, insecurities. These people are going to work on them. Again, don't be paranoid, but just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out there. So you have to think this way, that all online contacts are not strangers. They may be strangers in our way of thinking, but they're not going to be strangers to your kids' way of thinking, because they have been building this relationship with, dude, I've known several teens that tell me about their friends that they've never met on these games, and I'm sitting there going, whoa, and I'm trying not to overreact, and inside I'm thinking all this stuff, so I'm like, keep an eye out. You want to supervise and monitor. You want to review the devices. You again, talk to the kids. Say, look, I'm not working to invade your privacy, but for your safety, we need to do these things, unfortunately, in this day and age. So hopefully by building that trust, it's not as hard on you. Another one is teach your kids boundaries about body safety, too. Explain nobody that obviously should be asking for sexual images on there. Even if they say that they're your age, don't fall for it. I've been talking about this for the last, 7 minutes of, encourage open communication. Also, one of the big ones is privacy settings, parental controls, limit who can message or see the child's account. Don't be afraid to block or report suspicious activity, obviously. We'll go back again and be redundant with, online predators are not always strangers, at least not the way we would think they are. Adults who gain access through the trusted relationship, they're making it essential for the parents to be informed and vigilant and proactive. Guys, if I'm going to end with anything here too, it's be aware and research what you can on that group out there that's 764. It is no bueno, and they are nasty. So we are working to get you educated, get those lights on. Information, that's how I feel that we are going to beat this. So as naive as that may sound, I'm going to leave you with that little bit of hope. Let's get these lights on. Remember, listen, talk, and communicate. These are big. Guys, much love. Have a happy Monday.